Now we're ready to start getting our math on. In this video, we're going to cover these topics right here. First thing, mouse pointer awareness. As you move your mouse around in Excel, your mouse is going to turn into different icons. For instance, right here we have a down arrow. Over here we have a right black arrow. That allows me to select a row, down black arrow, select a column. I could get this black left right arrow. Allows me to expand a column, contract column. Likewise, over here, expand, contract a row. I can also get this white arrow, which allows me to drag, left click and drag. So I'm dragging and opening my formula bar right there in case I had a lot of stuff in my formula bar and I wanted to see all of it. If I go over an active cell, so when I'm just moving over Excel, I have this plus sign, which means add something somewhere. But when I go over my active cell, I can get this four-way black arrow. So if I had some information in that cell, I could then drag that cell and drop it anywhere. Likewise, if I had information in a range of cells, I could select that whole range. So when you select more than one cell, that's called a range. I could select that whole range, grab the edge of it when I have that four-way black arrow, move it and drop it somewhere. You'll also notice when I go over this little square in the bottom right corner of the active cell, I could get a little black plus sign. What that tells Excel is if there is a series there, I want to add to that series. So I select the series, I've selected 1 and 2. I put my little mouse over that black square, I get the black plus, now I can add to that series. And Excel will recognize the series and continue it. Excel's pretty good at recognizing series. 3, 6, it's a big 6. What's the next one? 9, 12, 15. I had some formatted text there before. I could even do January, right? And Excel will guess, well, that's probably next February, March. Or I could do like Monday, and what would come after that? Tuesday, Wednesday. So if I wanted to, I could even do store 1, store 2, and then 3, 4, 5. And then I could move this over here, and I have the beginnings of a table for keeping track of my data at my store. The last thing I might want to do is I might want to change these to match this formatting. So how would I go about doing that? There is something called the Format Painter. Basically, I select a cell which has the formatting I like, go up to the Home ribbon, and then up here there's this Format Painter. If I click that once, it will take the formatting from whatever cell's been selected and then paint it over whatever cell I click next. If I go up there and click that twice, it now selected that cell, and the paintbrush is going to stay on. So I can continue to paint that on whatever cells I want to around my spreadsheet. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, and then I'll hit Control Y to redo. Likewise, I could have been pushing these buttons up here, redo, undo, 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 redo. There we go. So let's get started writing formulas. Whenever you write a formula, all four formulas will always start with an equal sign. So if you just enter some numbers, equal 5 plus 7, that's all you have to do. Press enter on your keyboard and it adds it up. That is equal to 12. If I was to only enter 5 plus 7, it's not going to add that up. I have to have that equal sign in front of my formula for the formula to work. If I just want to display a formula including the equal sign and not have it calculate, I could start with the single quotation mark right there and now type my formula. And when I press enter, it will just show my formula. And it's always important to remember that when I click on a cell, it'll show me up here in the formula bar everything that is in that cell. So even though I'm only seeing equals 5 plus 7 here, what is really in that cell will be shown up in the formula bar, which is single parentheses equals 5 plus 7. Likewise, this one is equals 5 plus 7. That one is just 5 plus 7. And this one is, again, equals 5 plus 7. So when it comes time to write a formula, I could come over here, and let's make that number a little bit more reasonable. I could come over here and I could say equals 5 plus 7 plus 8, and it'll add all of that up for me, which is 20. But that's not a really good way to write a formula when you're going to be adding stuff up, because now if I change these numbers, this formula doesn't update. And one of the most powerful features of Excel is that, once you've entered a formula with cell references, then when you change what is in the cells which are referenced in the formula, the formula will recalculate and show you the new result. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to delete that formula by pressing delete on my keyboard. Then I hit enter to kind of accept that change. And then I go back up to the cell in which I want to enter the formula. And I'm going to type equals. And I know that this is cell P6. So it's going to be P6 plus, and the next one is Q6 plus, and notice how Excel is highlighting them and color coding them, R6. And now I hit enter on my keyboard, and it just added up. 10 plus 5 plus 8 is 23. Now if I change these numbers, the total will automatically update. Well, that's a little bit of a difficult way to write a formula by typing in each of the cell references. An easier way is to use the point and click method, So I start with my equals sign again, and then I click on whatever cell I want to add into my formula. I want to add in this reference right there, P6, plus that cell right there, Q6, plus, and I just click on this cell right there, and it adds in R6 to my formula. And there you can see my formula, and I hit enter, and it's all working as if I entered it the other way. It's automatically updating everything for me as I change those figures. Well, one thing you want to pay attention to when writing formulas is the order of operations. You'll be able to use all of these operators right here, but